What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to Monday Night's Late Night Agenda. I'm your host Craig, and you are all very welcome along to tonight's show. I do apologise, we had some gremlins in the system, but I think they have now been ironed out. By the looks of things are going pretty good. Yes, I think we're good to go this time. Again, I do apologise for what happened earlier on. We had a few gremlins in the system. Connor came in, worked his magic, and it finally looks like everything is going okay, which is great. Again, I just want to give a shout out to Kev's LFC artwork. That Henderson image you can see beside me there tonight in the stream, that wonderful image of him lifting old Big Ears number 6 is from Kev's LFC artwork, and you can see all Kev's Instagram, Facebook information there beside it, so please do go and check out Kev and his amazing work. I do appreciate everybody having patience with us. Like everything else, these things are a work in progress, so we do try and get it right. But look, we're back, we're live. Let's get straight into tonight's stream and see how everybody's doing. 1 second, there's a few bits and pieces I need to close down. Here we go. Are we all good? Right, I need Mr. Crosby or somebody to let me know that we're all good, and then we can get straight into tonight's show and get talking about Philippe Coutinho, which is probably the biggest topic we have to talk about tonight. Keith Jarabchin has been talking about him. Let me know what you guys think as well. Let me just move a few things around here and we can get going. We're good to go. Mr. Crosby, can you jump in the chat there or somebody and let me know that we're all good to go, and then we will start this motherfucker. Good. All good. Excellent. Right, thank you. As I said, Kev's LFC artwork, that beautiful Jordan Henderson image beside me. Go check out Kev's page. Kev's in the chat there now as well, as you can see. Kev's LFC artwork. I really love that image of Henderson. I have to say, I can't get enough of looking at Henderson kissing old Big Ears and lifting him up. And I really like what Kev's done there as well with the stars going around the outside of it. It is excellent. I really like it. Sorry, few gremlins coming through tonight. Yep, lots of stuff as well. It's really weird. When stuff goes wrong, people send me WhatsApp messages like they think I'm sitting here with nothing to do and I'm just not trying to get ready to get back on. And it's really distracting. I wish they'd stop doing it. How are we all anyway? I'm back. It's great to be back. I miss doing the live stuff. It was great yesterday doing the watch along of the game against Bradford, which was of course for a very good cause. We spoke about it yesterday. Stephen Darby, and all money raised went to the Stephen Darby Foundation for Motor Neuron Disease, which is absolutely class. Look, let's talk about Philippe Coutinho. Liverpool just removed their pinned tweet. They always do this prior to announcing something, said Doc. Don't be teasing me, mate. Don't be teasing me with that type of stuff. I love me an old transfer story, mate. So, Philippe Coutinho, right, let's start on this. So, Keith Jarabchin was talking, and I spoke about this on a stream the other day. He was talking about Coutinho, and he said that basically the only club he'd come back to England for will be Liverpool now. I'm wondering, is he starting to lay the groundwork? Is he starting to maybe try and smooth things over? Originally, it was thought that Griezmann had taken the number 7, but Cash, when we were doing our podcast earlier on, and I did just finish recording a pod, by the way, with Cash and Jace Roberts, and it is really good. I don't really big up our own work too much, but that was excellent, and I'm really enjoying it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. It'll be out tomorrow as well. But look, let's get back to Philippe Coutinho. Come back, Phil, said Grey Harry Com. I want Coutinho, said Barbacour Toure. Craig, you do watch along for the game 1 a.m. on Saturday. Yes, I am, Scotty. I should probably fill you guys in on that one, actually. So as you know, I'm going away on holidays next Monday. But the good news is I'll be doing the watch along of the Borussia Dortmund game, which is at 1 a.m. Friday into Saturday. But the good news, and maybe the bad news for my missus, is on Sunday, I'm heading off on Monday morning. We're leaving my house at 3:30 a.m. Sunday night into Monday morning, Liverpool are playing Sevilla in the pre-season at 11 o'clock on Sunday night, and I'm going to do a watch along of that as well. Fuck it, I'm going to do a watch along of that one. Finish up the watch along at about 1:30, and then head to the airport in a couple of hours. I couldn't think of a better way to finish up. So yeah, 2 more live streams to go, and for the pre-season for me, and that'll probably bring my pre-season coverage to an end because of a week away, and then it'll be back to the Community Shield and stuff. So yeah, just to let everybody know, we'll be covering the Borussia Dortmund game, we'll be covering the Sevilla game, and myself and Connor have some big news as well later on to have a chat about, so remind me about that as time goes on. Anyway, back to Coutinho. So much is going through my head today that I'm just trying to jump through and jump back, and then with the trouble at the start. Right, what have we got? Am I the only one who knew Stephen Darby's married to Steph Houghton, the England footballer? I didn't know that. So you've got me on that one, Clarky St. Goose. This is why I love our subscribers, by the way. They always give me bits of information and I learn every single stream. What else have we got? I'll take Phil back, but Barca said he's staying, said Mickey Friars. Yeah, It's interesting, and I touched on it a second ago. Cash looked into the information around Antoine Griezmann taking the number 7, and she jumped onto Barcelona's Instagram account, and it showed that he was having the number 17, so 1-7 and not 7. What do you guys think on that one? Yeah, well, let me know what you think of that. Because originally it was thought that he had no number, and when Cash looked it up, he was taking 17, as It's Fran says there in the chat himself. I take Phil back with Barca said he's staying, said Mickey Friars. They've been giving out mixed messages though, Mickey, haven't they, mate? And that's exactly what Key Jarabchin has been saying. He said that he knows for a fact that somebody that's close to Barcelona or to the people that run Barcelona have been in contact or touching base with other clubs. Happily Egg said Redmen said that we're trying to get him on a 2-year loan. Well, it's not them that's saying that, mate. Absolutely, they might have spoken about it on the show. It's what's doing the rounds. Yeah, 2-year loan deal, and then they say 88 million. But the reason I think the 88 million is being mentioned is because that is apparently the money that is still owed to us from Barcelona from his transfer. So, yeah. What do you guys think? Would you take him back? Yes or no? I mean, I'm absolutely going one way, the other, and back. And all I want is what Jurgen Klopp wants and whatever's best for the club. So, do let me know. Ella said, might see it in the airport if you're flying out of Terminal 2. I'm not, unfortunately, Ella. I'm flying out of Terminal 1. We're off to Turkey, so it'll be just Terminal 1. When will you come back from your holiday? It's only 1 week, big man Steve. So, but the good news is we have 6 pieces of content pre-recorded and ready to go that will be going up while I'm away. So you're still going to get lots of content. What's the latest on Coutinho? Said Mr. Bud. Your wife Sabrina should be sainted, said Liz. I agree. I will absolutely back you up on that one. Somebody else said 2-year loan deal, snap their hand off. Yeah. The thing is, on this, you don't want to let Michael Edwards know that there's an option there to go in and do some negotiating, because we know that Michael Edwards isn't too shabby at this type of stuff. And Michael Edwards, imagine him going into a conversation with Barcelona knowing that he already pretty much has the upper hand there because they really need to get rid of him. So, interesting stuff. Sorry, I'm still flicking around on some settings here. Barca said they took out a loan to buy Griezmann. Yes, I've seen a couple of things on that, Aidan. A couple of people have said that Barcelona were originally in debt of about 200 and something million, and that their aim was to reduce that over 2 years, and instead they've gone up, and I think their debt is now something like 500 million or something like that. So again, it's difficult to say. Football finance definitely isn't my department, nor do I profess to be. But Coutinho, Callum said yes, Mossy said yes, DSN or Kobe said yeah. Lots of people saying yeah, to be fair. Doug Creedon said yes as well. Stephen O'Connor, Stephen Somerville, Jack Hamilton, Paul Turner said no chance. There you go. I mean, it is interesting to see how people react to this one. And I looked at the Echo earlier on, and they happen to have a poll up on their site. And the last time I checked, there was 3 options. There was yes, there was no, and there was I'm not sure. And 64% of Liverpool fans or people, I mean, it's not fair to say the Liverpool fans, but people that voted on it, because I don't know if the Liverpool fans or not, suggested that yes, they would take Philippe Coutinho back at Liverpool, which I have to say I found very interesting. Paul Greaves said Barcelona still owe us 43 million. I think it's more than that, Paul. If the rumours, mate, are to be believed, it's double that probably. Barca are in breach of FFP, said Mickey Friars. I don't know is the honest answer on that, mate. I know, as we were just talking about, their club's working debt is apparently increased, and then how the hell are they going to afford Neymar as well? I mean, we can't just push that one off as well. Neymar, he's making the sounds like he wants to go back. He was already speaking about the fact that one of his favourite things was when he was playing for Barcelona and they overturned that score against PSG. I mean, that is a massive fuck you to the club that are paying your wages, isn't it? And he was laid back as well. So Neymar's doing his usual diva stuff. How the hell are they going to afford him? The only way I can see it is if they move on Coutinho, maybe Dembele and maybe some other players as well. Cormac Cronin said yes, he'd take him back. Awfully British, said we do need a winger. We'll take the 2-year loan with no buy though. That won't happen. They won't do that, mate. If we, or any club, I'm not saying us, if any club were to do that, there would be a condition to buy at the end of it. Barca wouldn't be silly enough to loan him out for 2 years. He'll be 29 then at the end of it. There's no way they'd get the type of money then from. So I don't know, it is going to be interesting to see. I'm very intrigued to see where this window is going, by the way. Amy Thompson says Phil is coming, 2-year loan deal. This is not a joke. 88 million if no return. Ashley Young said, Craig, I hope Brewster gets good game time this season. Should be great for his development. I have too much faith in him. He's world class. I'm really excited about Ryan Brewster. You know, I've been saying it for a while on the channel. It's very difficult to judge him. It's been Tranmere and Bradford so far. He's banged in 3 goals in 2 games. Can't really do much more, but the real proof of the pudding, I suppose, is in the eating, and that will come when we get competitive action. It steps up now, like Borussia Dortmund, Sevilla, Sporting Lisbon, Lyon. The level of the calibre of friendlies that the Reds are going to be going up and playing now will lift up. So again, we'll get to see. I've so much to get through tonight. We spoke about Bradford and we spoke about the pre-season friendly. It seems like Marcelo Bielsa was in the stand, the Leeds manager of Valley Parade, for yesterday's game against Bradford, and it's believed that he was there to look at both Ryan Kent and Harry Wilson. Now, 2 players who have divided opinion amongst Liverpool fans, and we've had many chats on this stream about. For me, so far, of the 2 season games that we've seen, and albeit both have only played 45 minutes in both of the pre-season games, Ryan Kent, for me, has been head and shoulders above Wilson in so far, just in pre-season. I'm not saying he's a better player. I'm not saying he has a higher ceiling. I'm just saying what I've seen so far, for me, Ryan Kent has been good. But Cash made a good point in the pod earlier on. Are either of them really good enough? If Bielsa's looking at them and the right money comes in, I mean, for me, I'd probably move them on if we have somebody lined up. And I still believe we do have somebody lined up. I still think we're going to get somebody in the door. Any podcast coming out this week? Tomorrow, Nigeb. Tomorrow, mate. Myself, Cash, and Jace Roberts recorded a podcast, and that'll be out tomorrow. He's only sorry because it didn't work out, said Stephen Booker. Yeah, probably, mate. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's no point in me coming on and saying anything else here, pal. You're right. He wanted to move to Barcelona. It didn't quite work out for him. Now, if he comes back or wherever he might go, yeah, it didn't work out. And maybe that, yeah, I agree. It might be a nice warning as well to other players to remember that sometimes the grass isn't always greener, and that you're adored at Liverpool. You're never going to get the type of treatment that he's received from Barcelona fans here. So, yeah, it is very interesting, and I don't know what's going to happen, but it will be interesting to see. How are we all, by the way? 339 people in the chat. As you can see, we're getting close to 18,250 subs, so please do hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying the channel. Craig Brewster sticks out a mile above the other young players, said Stephen Richards. Mickey Fryer wants to keep both. Are they good enough though, Mickey? And not just Mickey, I want to put this out to everybody in the chat. Are they good enough? I suppose the only person that can really give us that, or the only person whose opinion matters there is obviously Jurgen Klopp. For me, I don't know if either of them are good enough, to be honest. I don't know if... I'm already a little bit concerned with Origi and Brewster as the backup. And not because I don't think they're good enough, but because they're not at the level of our front 3 yet. Now, Brewster, it's far too early to even discuss him because he will get there. I've no doubt in my mind that he will be a superstar. Origi is still progressing as well, but if a couple of injuries came, I'm going to keep saying it, and I'm going to say it over and over again, I still think we need to add 1 or 2 bodies in the attacking end of the field. Babacar said, Salah, Mane, Mino, Coutinho, think about it, imagine the fear of the opposition defence. Yeah, I'm with you, mate. We're absolutely mustard when it comes to attacking with that front 3. Poppinwell79 said, Everton have just signed Delph. What do you think? I actually don't know on Fabian Delph. I mean, that move to Manchester City was ridiculous. He should never have made that move. He was never good enough to make it in that Manchester City team on a permanent basis or get consistent game time. It could be a clever piece of business by Everton. It could be. I'm unsure. What money is it, by the way? I haven't seen. So can somebody tell me what money they paid for him? Nageb said Harry Wilson over Ryan Kent. Has that been proven out in what you've seen though, Nageb, or are you just saying this from what you've seen with Wilson in Derby last season? Because I haven't seen anything so far in pre-season of Harry Wilson that has impressed me at all, if I'm being honest. I mean, Kent's been quite lively on the left. Larouchi's been great at left back. Curtis Jones looks like he could potentially get up to the level required. But it is just pre-season and it's early in pre-season as well. Stephen Somerville said Ryan Brewster was great. I'd much rather see Asensio at Liverpool than a return for Coutinho, said Adam Parks. Christopher McVickers said the second half of the Bradford match for me seemed like a training game. I don't know if they're good enough. It's a tough decision, said Mossy Kyo. They should be squad players, so good enough, said Mickey Forrest. Yeah, but I suppose what is a squad player though, mate? For me, a squad player is somebody who if called upon, should be able to come in and do a job. And can they? Can Ryan Kent and Wilson do it? I don't know. It's really difficult. I'm so glad that I ain't paid. Well, I'd love to be paid the money Jurgen Klopp has played, but he will make the right decisions. Of that, I'm sure. We should go for Ziyech, said Ajor 11. Why is nobody going for him? I don't know, mate, is the honest answer. It is very quiet around him. On Nabil Fekir, actually, we spoke about him a good bit. I suppose I can almost close the book on this one, as much as it does make me sad, because we all know that I like Nabil Fekir, and that I was hoping, perhaps beyond hope, that Liverpool would go back in for him. It seems like Sevilla are now going to battle it out with Real Betis for Lyon's Nabil Fekir. We know he's available around the €30 million mark, which I've said time and again, and it's looking increasingly unlikely that Liverpool will join the race to sign him. The Reds, of course, head off to America tomorrow, I believe, on the pre-season tour. So, again, what do you think? Have you heard anything? Anybody else? I mean, is it just Coutinho at this point, or do we still think maybe Nicolas Pepe is an option? Because we know his agent and Lille have been speaking quite a bit about him and trying to find him a club. They've said PSG are interested, and they've obviously dropped Liverpool's name quite a bit as well. O-Dog said Brewster's a natural finisher. Shanzo the man said Wilson is decent, I think. Would you be happy to give Kent and Wilson a chance this season at the back of the two halves we've seen in pre-season? I would say Kent over Wilson from what I've seen so far, but the honest answer to both is probably no, if I'm being honest. I don't think long term that they'll cut it. I just don't. Paul Ward said Curtis Jones, the next Gerrard. Again, last pre-season for me, mate, I thought he was excellent. This pre-season, in what was a dire second half performance yesterday from the Reds, I have to be honest, it was like night and day, the first and second half. But Curtis Jones did stand out in the second half as somebody who looks like he could belong at this level. Maybe a loan this season for him, but he does look like a very good player. O-Dog said, I'll be pissed if Fekir ends up at Real Betis or over us, or Real Betis or Sevilla over us, excuse me. Where are we going on this one? Eclipse said, confirmed Liverpool have taken 5,973 tickets, while Chelsea only asked for 1,314 for the game next month over in Istanbul, the Super Cup, which is in the Vodafone Arena, I believe, the Besiktas ground. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm very intrigued to see how the crowd for that game looks. The game itself, I'm very much looking forward to, actually. I think the Super Cup is always a nice trophy to go and try and win, and the World Club Championship or the World Club Cup or whatever it's called these days as well in October. Not October, I keep saying October. In December in where is it? Where's the World Cup going to be on, the next World Cup? I was going to say Abu Dhabi because of Manchester City in my head, but no, Qatar. Sorry, yes, in Qatar. The Revenite said, gutted, it's not looking good. We'll sign somebody, but I love this group of players, so chins up. Chins, we all have. I know I've got a double chin, mate, but not everybody has double chins. I know that's not what you meant, by the way. Fekir Craig would not be good enough for us. Klopp knows that now. When he went from Max, he went from mate last year, and he went from a 55 million, and perhaps if that medical hadn't shown up what we all believe it showed up, he would have been a Liverpool player by now. So it's difficult to say that Klopp doesn't think he's good enough when we know that he was in from. Now, of course, opinions change, mate. I'm not saying Klopp hasn't reassessed the situation. Do you think we need a second choice goalkeeper? No, it seems like Simon Mignolet is staying. Jurgen Klopp has come out and said that Simon Mignolet will be remaining at the clubs. It's Simon or Simon. Again, I flip-flop on that next season. And weirdly, we've brought in Andy Lonergan, who was released by Middlesbrough, and he'll be joining the club on the pre-season tour of America. But he won't be signing a contract. So Andy Lonergan will just be there, I think, for training, a little bit of work with the keepers, with obviously John Berg, Alisson when he comes in, whenever that might be. I'm not sure when. He might join up towards the end of the tour, actually. Obviously, we have Simon Mignolet there as well. We've had a couple of injuries to goalkeepers, actually. So Quivin Kelleher is out with a wrist injury. And then the young Polish guy, I think it was, that came in, I can't remember his name. He has an injury that's going to keep him out from a Royal as well. So the club were really struggling to get goalkeepers and get bodies in for the pre-season tour. So Andy Lonergan is going to go over there and help out with training and be I suppose just somebody for Simon Mignolet to bounce off. But it is, do you know what? I'm actually quite happy. If Simon Mignolet does stay at the club, I'm quite happy. I think that he's great to have as a backup goalkeeper, and he's quite a high level as well to have as a backup goalkeeper. So yeah, it's good for me, but I'd love to know what you guys think. Stevie Richard said, Craig, Andy Lonergan's a BTEC, Craig Holden. Yeah, I could have went over there. Do you know what I mean? I could have went over to America in the pre-season tour and kicked footballs at Mignolet and told him he looked like SpongeBob SquarePants. I could have done that. Andy Lonergan's getting paid for it, but whatever. I'm not bitter about it. I really am, but I'm not bitter. I am. Actually, on that, a bit of breaking news. And sorry, people are going, oh, transfer. Nah, sorry, it's not that. But we've always told you that Anfield Agenda wanted to travel, and we've told you that we have been saving our little asses off over the past few months, both money from the channel and our own money. And myself and Mr. Crosby can today officially announce that we are travelling to Florida. We are going to Florida between the 13th and the 20th of September. We're going to meet up with looks like, these are almost confirmed, the Orlando Supporters Club, the Tampa Bay Supporters Club, and we're hoping to squeeze another one in as well while we're over there. As I said, we're there for a week, so I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to get to meet up with Far Isle as well while we're over there. And I'm not sure where everybody else in the chat is from. I know Liz Golden said she's going to try and come up and say hello as well. So if there's anybody in and around the Florida area from September the 13th to September the 20th, Connor and myself are flying our asses over to Florida for work, actually. I know it just sounds like a jolly up. It's kind of a mix, if I'm being honest. We booked our flights today. We're on the way over. We haven't sorted out our accommodation yet. We haven't sorted out a few other bits and pieces yet, but the important part is done. The flights are booked. So the reason we picked those dates is Liverpool play Newcastle on the 14th of September, and the first round of the Champions League games takes place on the 18th and 19th. And although we don't know which one of those days we'll be playing on yet, it does mean that it gives us a second watch along to do. So we will be doing those. I don't know if they'll be watch-alongs, but we will be sharing those games with some official supporters clubs in Florida. I cannot tell you how proud I am and how happy I am that we get to go over to Florida and meet some Liverpool fans. I'm over the moon that we did it. It was a big moment for myself and Connor today, pulling the trigger on that and booking the flight. So really looking forward to it. Paul Grieve said, I can't believe we haven't signed Fekir, 30 million for fuck's sake. We should have jumped on that. Wolves need to sign players as well. Somebody said there, sorry the chat moved, I couldn't figure out who it is. Liz Golden said, I'm an hour from Orlando. Well, there you go. I mean, we're flying into Orlando, and that's probably where we're going to base ourselves, Liz, for our trip over there. So, if you can get down, say hello, that would be great. Do you want Coutinho back? If it's right, money-wise, mate, and if it's what Jurgen Klopp wants, then, I don't mind either way. As we said before, I'm a hypocrite. I've said this openly. I think most football fans are hypocrites, and if he comes back and he performed well, I think most of us would probably say, oh, it's alright, then he's learned his lesson. Craig, what about the Kennedy Space Centre Supporters Club? I haven't even broached that subject yet with Mr. Crosby Stephen. Calm down, lads, we've signed Andy Lonergan, said Brian. Feely John said it's raining there now, Craig. It's alright, we've got plenty of time, mate. That rain can go away. How close is Cavan to Florida? It's a little bit, Adam. It's a little bit. Nigel said, are you guys coming to Denmark? We've always said, if the offers are there, if people... Like, I've touched base with Orlando and Tampa Bay for a long time. I know Casey, one of the people involved in Tampa Bay for years now, and I've always wanted to go over. And I kept missing out on meeting up with the supporters clubs when I was over there with my family, because, you're on family vacation, that comes first. But this time, it's going to be filming, so we're going to film bits and pieces. We're hoping to take in Orlando. We're playing, is it New England Revolution, while we're over there as well, so we're hoping to take in the Orlando City game as well. John Hamilton said, I'll be there as well, assuming I can manage to squeeze into the suitcase. Liam Granby, how are you, sir? What's your thoughts on Coutinho? We just went through it all, buddy. It's interesting stuff. It'll be interesting to see how it works out. Yes, we did. I never even thought of that, Connor. Connor just put into the chat, Space Camp. How long have we been joking about sending Mr. Crosby to Space Camp? Well, do you know what? Fucking Florida, NASA, it could be done. We could get Connor to Space Camp finally. Even though it started out as a joke, it might well happen. Newcastle already started pre-season without a manager, said Nageb. It looks like, I'm almost laughing saying this, but it looks like Steve Bruce could be the Newcastle manager. I mean, what a come down from Rafa Benitez for those Geordie fans, and they deserve better, to be quite frank. What else have we got? Ever been to South Africa, says Chanzo the man? No, but it is 100% on my list of places I want to go and see, mate. It looks beautiful. Table Mountain. Yeah, and I've met some wonderful people on Twitter as well from South Africa, and I would love to go over there someday. You're not a hypocrite, you're undecided. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that, mate. I think, though, honestly, I think we are all hypocrites to a certain extent when it comes to football, particularly when it's decisions, you know. If it's a penalty against us, we're screaming that it was never a penalty. If it would have been for us, we'd be all like, oh, yeah, that was a penalty, definitely, 100%. Right, I'm really enjoying being back, by the way. Let me just say that for a minute. I missed you guys so much for the few days I wasn't live streaming, and again, accept my apology for that. I hate letting people down, and I know people sometimes are waiting for the streams and stuff, and I don't mean that in a big-headed way, but sometimes this can be people's only interaction with other Reds and stuff, and I've always been very appreciative of that fact. So for the fact that I've let you down for a couple of days, please accept my apologies on that. I didn't do it lightly. I just wasn't able to come on. City are going to win the league, said Drew. That's the attitude, mate. That's what we need to be going into the season with. That defeatist attitude. That's how you win Champions League, Drew, and Premier League titles, mate, by having a big, pissy, defeatist attitude like that. Cheer up, pal. I mean, maybe you're a City fan, in which case, yeah, then I get where you're coming from. But if you're a Liverpool fan, mate, and you're coming in with that attitude, then that's not what we need going into the season. We need to be full of belief. Are we going to be playing any top teams in pre-season? Yes, we're playing Borussia Dortmund next. Then we're playing Sevilla, Sporting Lisbon, Lyon, and then of course we move on to the Community Shield where we play Manchester City. What else have we got? John said, sorry late to the show, but a question. FA only allowed 3 South Americans to play. Who would be taking Fabinho or Bobby? Do they? I don't know that rule, John. Sorry, I'm going to have to claim ignorance on that one, pal. I genuinely don't know about that rule. Yeah, I've never heard of it before. If I'm being honest, I've never heard of that rule before. Sean McDonald said, I'd love to see Coutinho back. I miss his 30-yard bangers. Boya is in the chat as well. Leicester City FC Boya, who I'm going to be recording with on Wednesday, so I'm very much looking forward to that. I'll be getting his thoughts on the transfer window. We'll be having a chat about relegation and promotion and a few other bits and pieces as well. Although Boya doesn't know that yet because I haven't sent him the agenda. No apologies is needed, Craig. Thank you, Kev. But look, we're a community on here, mate. And as I said, I take what I do very seriously, and I just don't like letting people down. Anyway, so Blue said, Rian said he listens to the Anfield rap, or whatever that is, but I told him about this channel. Blue is related to Rian Brewster. I hope I can say that. I think I can now because you said that about that. But yeah, I know his dad knows about our Instagram account actually, because Kev has told me that he has had a little chat with Rian Brewster's dad on Instagram. But I hope he does watch. I hope Kloppo watches as well. I hope somebody watches. But if you guys are watching, how are you? We love you. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you very much. What else we got? Will I be live transfer deadline day? What day is transfer deadline day? August the 8th. Yeah, I should be. I don't know if I'll have a yellow tie or not, but yeah, I definitely should be live. Neymar is toxic. I swear you guys just want me to sing that Britney Spears song. Rabadam said Norwich will win the league. Well, look, I'm sitting here laughing. We would have done the same thing if you hadn't said Leicester would have won the league a few years ago, mate, and that happened, so maybe I shouldn't be laughing anymore. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, mate. Really do appreciate it. Douglas James Horn said, breaking news, Neymar has asked to leave PSG. Yeah, that was coming, wasn't it? That was always going to come, to be fair. Little Diva wanted his next multi-million-pound move, so yeah, he'll throw his toys out of the pram now for a while to get that move. From Rafael Benitez to Steve Bruce, how bad is that? Yeah, it's really fucking shitty, to be honest. Your health is your wealth, pal. No apologies needed. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Tom. It was a very difficult couple of days. My son was sick, and a few things just got on top of me. And like anybody else, I'm human, so I just wasn't able for it. Pour some sugar on me. Pour some sugar on me. Sorry. Every time somebody says that, I have to sing that song. It's just like a little unwritten rule now. Come on, Craig, sing Toxic. I actually don't know the fucking words to it, and I'm quite proud to say I don't know the words to Toxic. But if I can find that red leather suit that Britney Spears wore in the video. Maybe I'll give that a bash. Kind of Eddie Murphy-esque. Remember that beautiful purple suit? Wasn't it purple that Eddie Murphy wore in Raw, which is one of the best stand-up performances of all time. Jax Payne said it makes sense that it was a bid for Phil Coutinho was launched yesterday, which apparently was, because we and journalists would have been distracted by the friendly, intelligent move. Crosby Red said, feel sorry for the Geordies, Steve Bruce. Why? I know it's I've a lot of time for Newcastle fans. They're a really good bunch, and yeah, for Rafael Benitez, and then for them to still be stuck with Mike Ashley and Steve Bruce potentially in charge, it's a bit of a come down. What else have we got? Won't Barca break FFP rules if they sign Neymar? Mate, I'd imagine so, Sean. I'd imagine so. I can't believe that there's any way that they can sign Neymar without selling Dembele or Coutinho or Rakitic or more players. I mean, how the hell could they afford it? You're talking in excess of probably 200 million for Neymar. They're after dropping 120 million euro on Antoine Griezmann, and they're already struggling money wise. As I said earlier on, they were already a couple of 100 million in debt. Delit medical tomorrow at Juventus, said David Newell. That one, yeah, that seemed to be just a matter of time, didn't it, until the two clubs sorted that one out. Where was somebody? There was a nice comment there a second ago, sorry. Oh, thank you, Leon, said Craig. I love you. Love you too, mate. I love everybody else in the chat. Thank you. And that's what the world needs, mate, isn't it? More love, and people not being afraid to say that as well. Imagine being in the same chat as a Liverpool player. I will be amazed. Yeah, I mean, there was a conversation about this somewhere the other day. I can't for the life of me remember what it was. What might I have been listening to? I don't know. But they were talking about Jurgen Klopp and the fact that he has talked about stuff that has happened on either the Anfield Rap, say, which we know he watches the Anfield Rap, but I'm pretty sure he watches Red Men as well. But that he does pay attention to Twitter and social media, and it is interesting. I mean, for all we know, we could be on there some days chatting to people, and it could be one of them. It could be Jurgen Klopp. It could be one of the players. It's yeah, that's never lost to me when I'm on there. What else we got? Neymar can ask to leave, but nobody can afford him, said Crosby Red. And would anybody really want them? I mean, Barcelona seem to, but I've got to be honest with you. If Liverpool turned around tomorrow and said, we're signing Neymar and we're spending 200 million, I'm sitting here shaking my head going, nah, not for me. Go get Mbappe or spend that 200 million much more wisely. And thankfully our club aren't silly enough to drop that much money on somebody like Neymar. Sing the Genie Wijnaldum song. Genie Wijnaldum. Genie Wijnaldum. My missus said to me the other day that she doesn't know, she can't even remember the fucking real song anymore. She can't remember what the actual real song is. Every time she hears it now, she just starts singing the Genie Wijnaldum song, and she doesn't even give a shit about football, to be honest. What have we got? There was a link went into Boya's account there as well, so please do go over and check out Leicester City FC Boya and sub to him. Again, thank you to Jason Cash for coming on to the pod as well earlier on. I'm seeing Jason in the chat there earlier on. I forgot to say thank you to him. Have we officially bid for Coutinho? Asks Nageb. Nothing from the club has come out, mate. So to say officially, I think we'd have to say no, because there's been nothing come out from the club whatsoever. We need a song for Alisson, said Man with a Plan. Dude can play a guitar and sing, so he can write himself a song. Do you know what I mean? He's that good. I mean, half the time with Van Dijk in front of him as well, he hasn't got much to do, so we'd have plenty of time to write a song. Leon said Neymar hasn't fulfilled his potential. That's it. That is the point that frustrates me about the kid, mate. He has undoubted ability. I'm not going to sit here and say Neymar hasn't got the world at his feet potentially, but he doesn't seem to have that desire, attitude and work rate that Ronaldo has, that Messi has, that other greats before him have had, and I don't think he will ever live up to his potential. How many times did we win the Champions League again? But I hear you say, I believe it was this many times, sir. 6 times. As you can see from the lovely image beside me there from Kev's LFC artwork. 77, 78, 81, 84, 2005, 2019. 6 times champions of Europe, ladies and gentlemen. 6 times. Love it. Ladies and gentlemen, there's 480 people watching. If you're enjoying the stream, Please do hit that subscribe button. I really want us to get as close to 20k as we can before the season starts. I know it's a fucking massive ask, to be honest, at this point, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. And again, reminder, the next 2 games we will be doing watch-alongs of as well. So we'll be covering the Borussia Dortmund game and the Sevilla game. I'm literally going to be doing that Sevilla game with my suitcases at the front door, ready to go when we finish the game, which is a great way to start off the holidays as far as I'm concerned. It's better than the original, a lot of people are saying, with the Genie Wijnaldum song. I agree. It's a fucking great song. Where did I get my trophy from? Labs Gamer said. I got it from a company called J&S Trophies, mate. If you're on Twitter, it's at JS underscore trophies, and on Instagram, on our Facebook, it's J&S Trophies. I think there's probably a link on my Twitter account somewhere, but yes, that is the company I got it from. And it's I'm still going around smiling looking at it. Where is our trophy? Said Adam Parks. It's actually downstairs, mate, because I'm debating about getting it framed or not. Part of me wants to put it in a frame and hang it up, and then another part of me wants to not, because I want to play with it and I want to walk around and pretend I'm a Champions League winner. So I might get one of those, you know, those frames, what are they called, the shadow box or something? One of those frames where there's no glass in it, but it looks like that there is. So maybe I'll get one of them. Mr. Bud, who said this is a poor transfer window? Do you mean from our perspective, mate, or as a whole? There's still a lot to potentially happen in this window if we're looking at it from a big standpoint and not just Liverpool. Potential deal for Pogba. Slabhead looks like he's gone to Manchester United, who they're going to massively overpay for, as they seem to have this window with most players. Then there's the Neymar deal that might happen. Griezmann has happened. Christian Eriksen, something could happen with him as well. Fekir, although that's not a massive thing, that could happen. Elliott. I mean, there's a lot of big money moves happening during the window. I feel need to make a confession. I've got a cougar crush on Alisson, said Crosby. That's alright. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. I've got about 20 man crushes on Liverpool players over the years, so you have your cougar crush, Crosby Red. That's all good. Liam Granby said Jamie Webster 100% already on it when it comes to sorting an Alisson song. I'm sure he is, and there is no better bucle, as we say in Ireland, no better boyo than Mr. Webster, who it was an absolute pleasure to get to interview him, by the way. If you guys didn't see that, or if you're new to the channel you missed it, I was lucky enough to get over with Crosby Red and with Connor to one of the Boss Night gigs, and we got an interview with Jamie Webster, which he's just so damn nice. He really is just a top fella. Rabadan, again, thank you for the super chat, mate. Said Coutinho can come back if he takes Rakitic with him. I don't know about Rakitic. I've always been on the fence about him. Sometimes I look at him and I think, you know what, this lad is absolutely amazing, and then other times I just don't know what the fuss is about. I'm really undecided on Rakitic. Callum said, I think Coutinho will take the number 19 shirt if he returns. And Dino Bino, what a name, mate. Well in. Dino Bino 11 said, if Neymar had Jimmy Milner's attitude and desire, he'd be a player to aspire to. Yeah, can you imagine? Jimmy Milner, what a man. I mean, that first half against Bradford, and I know it was only against Bradford, but James Milner looked head and shoulders above anybody else on that pitch. His range of passing was exquisite. His energy levels top notch. He was brilliant. Any news about Coutinho? We've done Coutinho, mate, a few times, and there's no news that I've seen. No genuine news other than maybe. But it is around this time, isn't it, where, as we're doing this now and going live, it's about this time where the journals put out their stories for tomorrow, so maybe something will come out. Tierney to Arsenal, said Liam Hunter. Have they agreed that? Because I know they put in a £25 million offer, but Celtic weren't happy with the way that deal was structured and they wanted more money up front, and I think we all know that Arsenal are a little short of funds, so maybe they had to be quite creative about that, but maybe that's been done. It looks like it will get done. I'd say they'll get there eventually anyway, if it hasn't already been. Neymar wants to leave. Breaking news. It's been coming for a few weeks. You could see it coming with his sly little digs and his little bits and pieces he's been talking about. We want 60. We want 60. It's downstairs. As I said, I can't go down and get it. I'll bring it up for the next stream. There won't be a live stream tomorrow, but the reason being on that one is because we've got the podcast to go out. I will do a new show. It's just that Tuesdays are the day where I go and see my psychologist, and it's usually the day that I'm at my I won't say weakest, but I'm a little, you can imagine going to see a psychologist for an hour. It stirs up a lot of emotions and stuff, so it's very draining. So tomorrow, we'll have the podcast with Cash and with Jace going up, and then a little bit of a new show as well. The Bite Size Agenda will be back tomorrow, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right through till I go on holidays. You'll get the Late Night Agenda again. We're back to normal, pretty much. Let me say. Again, I want to thank everybody for their patience and understanding over the last few days. So much, by the way, in the works that I can't talk to you guys about just yet. I mean, little people that we're talking to about both chats coming on the channel, people that we're talking about working with. It's really exciting times at the minute at Anfield Agenda HQ. And by HQ, I mean like me gaff, basically. And Connor's gaff, but me gaff. Yeah, it's really exciting times. There's so much I wish I could tell you guys, but just know that we're working our asses off to make things even better for you. What did you say? DT put out a video, welcome Tierney, and has deleted it. I'd say that will get done. I'd say it's just one of those things where they're just trying to trash out the details. Liz Golden said you need to process. That's exactly it. And I found before when I do the Late Night Agenda on Tuesdays, I'm not at my best, and that's not fair to you guys, and I don't want to come on and maybe snap at somebody or be a bit cranky. Do you think the transfer bubble is about to burst? Said Stephen Booker. Surely it will get to the point where nobody can afford anyone. It is getting a bit ridiculous. It's almost like there's two levels in the transfer window, Stephen, and you've got Premier League clubs and the top Spanish clubs, and I suppose maybe we could include Bayern Munich in that. And then there's everybody else. So there's also the thought process that with our window closing early, the other leagues might be able to sit back and just say, well, hang on, the Premier League window closes on August the 8th. That gives us then 3 or 4 weeks to hoover up any players that Premier League clubs haven't gone for, and we can probably negotiate better deals for them because we won't be competing against Premier League wages and Premier League money. So I think that you could see some stuff happen later on in the window when ours is closed. I know somebody touched on earlier on it's been a quiet window. Crosby Red said we'll keep an eye out for the next Boss Nights and we'll let you all know. Yeah, look, if you ever get a chance to attend one of the Boss Night events, go. I mean, absolutely brilliant. Loved it. Alex said, what is your podcast? I'm new to your channel. It's basically, mate, like this. You're going to see me, but where you see the image of Jordan Henderson there holding a trophy, there'll be a picture of Cash, picture of Jace, and it'll just be us having a chat. It's a pre-recorded thing. I think it was about 53 minutes long, and that'll be going up tomorrow. It'll be up on the channel here, mate, so all you have to do is we'll schedule it as always, and if you've got your notifications turned on, which I hope you all do, and I know everyone doesn't always get YouTube notifications, so just make sure they are on, and anytime we get little bits and pieces like that, they'll go up. What else we got? Tierney is an excellent player, said man with the plan. Anybody I know, and I've got a few Celtic mates, and I'm actually going to get over to Celtic Park this season. A mate of mine asked me would I go over with him after Christmas, so I've never been and I want to go and I want to look at the safe standing section. So yeah, I'm going to go over to Celtic Park with my mate Jimbo to have a look at a Celtic game this season. But yeah, Tierney, he's been banging on about Tierney for quite a long time and saying how good he is. So there's one more subject, ladies and gents, that we haven't touched on yet. Did I bump my head here? Is it that one? Yes, I did, mate, ages ago. I hopped it off the bathroom cabinet and pretty much I should have got a stitch in it, but I was too lazy to go, and now it's just taking a while to heal up. Douglas James Horn said, crazy to see City's third kit. It looks like, what is that? A melon, is it? Or a Tango Ice Blast? No, I haven't seen it. But I'll have a little. I haven't been on social media at all today. I spent the entire day trying to sort out those flights to Florida for myself and Connor. I feel bad for smaller teams as many players are too expensive for their budget, said it's Fran. What time will the podcast come up, said Nageb. I don't know. That's up to Connor Crosby. So maybe if Mr. Crosby's still watching there, he'll let you know. I'd say probably premiere at about, I don't know, Connor, what do you think, 8? Something like that maybe tomorrow? Maybe 8 o'clock. And then I'll record a bite-sized agenda as well, and that'll go out a little bit afterwards. What's my opinion on Curtis Jones? I think he's had a very good start to pre-season. I thought he had an excellent pre-season last year. But it's difficult because there's a massive difference between looking good in pre-season where it doesn't really matter and you're playing against not just weaker opposition a lot of the time, but opposition who aren't up to full speed, and then dropping them in to play in a Champions League group stage game or an FA Cup game or a top of the table Premier League game. I would like to see him probably go out on loan and get experience, but I mean on loan to a Premier League club, because I think that is his level. We're playing at the very highest level right now, and it's not like maybe go back 5-6 years ago where we could say, well, we could take a chance on this guy, and if it doesn't work out, like, we are an established top of the table, back-to-back Champions League final club now, where we've got to be challenging for every single trophy. So we can't really, as much as you want youngsters to come through, the development is very difficult to manage, because we've got the Checker Trade Trophy this year, so the guys will get to play in that one, and that'll give them experience against League 1, League 2 sides and whatnot. But I think for Curtis Jones, I'd love to see him go to, I don't know who, let's say in Norwich or somebody like that maybe, and get some game time. But then again, he wouldn't be getting coached by Kloppo, so it is difficult. Go to a Celtic Rangers game. I think the tickets might be quite hard to get there for that one, to be fair. What else have we got? I'd love to see you on Redmen TV, somebody said. You never know. I mean, if they ever invite me over, I'll go on for a chat. I said this before. When we first started, I was a bit weary about things like that. But as we've reached out and done work with Drifty, with Mark Goldbridge, with Anthony, with Lee Chappie, as I said before, my door is always open. If anybody wants to give it a knock and invite me on for a chat, and our door's always open to other people as well. So if the guys at Redmen want to come and say hello or invite me over, then the door's always over. I'll come and have a chat. It'd be fun, actually. Yeah, it would be fun. Yeah, so maybe I don't know, maybe someday. Crane say, who the fuck is that guy? I haven't really got a strong McGregor accent, Leon. I think that's what you wanted me to say there, but McGregor's weird because he has like fucking 2 or 3 accents depending on who he's talking to. Mark Henry said, got my Liverpool away jersey. Nice one. Well in, mate. There was a delay, wasn't there, in the club posting out stuff, because I think they were just so busy. What else have we got? Coutinho's coming back to clean Mr. Milner's boots, said Claire Dean. Is Robertson injured for Norwich? If so, LaRucci or Lewis? No, he'll be back, mate. He'll absolutely be back. I think there was the hamstring injury or whatever it was he picked up with Scotland, and then he got an insect bite that got infected, so I think he had to have a little procedure on his hand. But he's travelling with the Reds over to America, and he will be ready for the season to start. But for me, LaRucci or Lewis is an interesting one. I think LaRucci, again, in what I've seen, has looked more capable, but Adam Lewis is, I think, a little bit younger, maybe, although I don't know that for a fact. I'm just guessing because of the look of them. I thought LaRucci's been quite impressive so far, but again, it is pre-season, so it's difficult. Okay, what else have we got? Stephen Richard said, Craig, Redmen know about you already. Yeah, maybe they do. I mean, I hope they do. But as I said, the door is always open, so if they invite me on, then yeah, whatever. If they don't, I'll still, big up their stuff and like the Anfield Rap and many other great Liverpool channels out there. I mean, we're spoiled as Liverpool fans. There is a lot of great content providers out there. Milner replacement, Donny van de Beek. That would be class. That would be class. But haven't seen any links to him. I mean, Ajax, apart from losing De Ligt, have they lost anybody else? Oh, obviously they lost Frankie de Jong, but that one was already done to Barcelona. They haven't really been as cherry picked as we thought they might be. Nothing on David Neres. Donny van der Beek has been linked to a couple of clubs around Europe, but yeah, nothing happens there. Has there been any more developments as well, ladies and gentlemen, on the deal that was proposed to take the guy from, what was his name? The guy from Real Madrid to Dani Ceballos to Spurs. There was a talk of a loan move there as well. What shirt am I wearing? It's the Argentina, one of the older Argentina away shirts, mate. Chris from Redman was speaking about you in a video with Dave. Yeah, I did see that. Yes, actually, I did actually see that. Yeah, so I suppose they do know. Well then, if they invite me on, I'll come on. Maybe if I'm over in Liverpool, I'll drop in. But I don't run Redman TV. Do you know what I mean? So we'll leave things as they are. I also have a little. It'd be nice to get onto True Geordie's kickoff at some stage this season as well. Your channel was recommended to me after watching Redmen TV on YouTube, said Craig Adams. Well, I'm glad it was, mate, and I'm glad that you're here with us, and thank you very much for watching. Love you too, Nageb. Thank you very much. Kent is a beast, said Vinnie Morgan. Love it. I love people being positive about our players, mate. And he's looked quite tasty so far in pre-season. He's looked quite lively. What else have we got? Haven't heard anything on it, said Liam Granby with regards to Coutinho. Coutinho back as a quarterback, maybe. You know what? Speaking about that, and I did say I had something that I wanted to chat about and I left it a little bit late. I'm sure most of you guys have seen this, but Jurgen Klopp has come out with a bit of a revelation around Adam Lallana. Apparently, Lallana will be our new Jorginho, to use a phrase that Jurgen Klopp said, and that he will be looked at to play in the 6 role or in a deeper role. And the reason it came back into my head is because Handy being Andy there talked about the quarterback situation. Well, what do you think of the possibility of Adam Lallana playing in a 6 or in the Jorginho role? I'm a bit wary about it myself, to be honest. Very wary about it, quite frankly. Yeah, it's sorry, Connor WhatsApped me there and I got a bit distracted. He was saying, what's this he said? There was a video a while ago, Klopp's phone was down on the couch beside him, somebody zoomed in and had a Twitter app. I did see that one. It was the video, it was the image where he had a box of cupcakes in his hand, if memory serves. Somebody made some beautiful cupcakes and sent them to him, and you could see his phone and his Twitter app was on it, yeah. Where is Redmond TV based in Liverpool? I have no idea where in Liverpool. I've never been invited there, mate, so I don't know where it is. What do you think of Ryan Brewster? I think he is, the phrase that we've been using, Rory, mate, is generational talent. I think sometimes there's players that you just know are going to make it. So like Robbie Fowler, Steven Gerrard, Michael Owen, Raheem Sterling as well. You just know. And with him, injuries, if he can keep injury free, and he will get the game time on the Jurgen Klopp, I've no doubt about that. I think the kid's going to be a superstar, Rory. What do you think though, buddy? It's all very well and good me giving my opinion, but this is a community, so Rory, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on him. Michael Dunn said, love your channel, Craig, you are a legend, mate. This channel only succeeds, I keep saying it, because of the content that you guys put back in. So all I do is sit here and talk shite most of the time, but we're growing, and as long as we continue to grow, more people come and we get to chat with more Reds, then it will be a good thing. I seen that with Lallana, said Michael Dunn. Yeah, what do you think about that, ladies and gentlemen? Adam Lallana in the 6 for Liverpool. I don't know. I don't know if his reading of the game would be good enough. I don't know if he will be strong enough in the tackle. I just don't know, being quite honest about it. Now, who the hell am I to undermine Jurgen Klopp or second guess Jurgen Klopp, but it does feel like a strange one, I have to say. God the Good One said he played in that role the other day and did a good job. I thought Milner stole the show in the first half, mate. I thought against Bradford. Kent was good as well, and obviously Ryan Brewster bagged his goal, but I don't know. I just don't know about Lallana anymore. I've nothing against the guy, and he seems like a really nice guy, but there was a couple of occasions where he got caught out doing his little turns and got dispossessed, and that started a counter-attack for Bradford. And I suppose my worry would be if he starts at that in a deeper position and loses possession, we'd be left exposed. Do you know what I mean? We'd be left exposed that area of the pitch, and I don't know. I'm just so undecided on it. Claire Dean said, I love the Rucci. He was the standout player for me up to now. He needs refining, but wow, what a player. So Lallana, the new Fabinho. It's so, even to say that, mate, even to talk about it in that situation is weird. Leon Khan said Lallana is awful. Personally, I wouldn't go that far, mate. I've said, and you can go back and watch this back months ago, I said for me this summer I'd move Lallana on because of a few things. One, I think as a club, we've moved past them a little bit, I think, at the level that we're currently at. Now, Adam Lallana's a top-notch player, but injuries are catching up with him. He seems to have maybe slowed down a little bit. And I thought maybe this summer would have been a good summer to cash in on him and still get a high value for him. So he's definitely staying by the looks of it. Albin said, I think we should let Lallana go. Nageb said, if we need a player for the 6, bring Mario Lemina. I mean, look, honestly, mate, if we need a player for the 6, Marco Grujic, we just loan back out to Hertha Berlin. I mean, he could definitely do a job there. Although him getting more game time and continuing his development is a good thing as well. Connor said, Lallana in the 6 sounds like it'd work against teams we dominate possession against. Yeah, I can see that. Where you just want to keep things ticking over. You want to keep the ball moving quickly. It was something that we did criticise our midfield of previously, that things were just too slow. Now I'm going back maybe 18 months. So yeah, I get where you're coming from, Connor, with that one. Lallana in the 6, moving things along. In a game we're dominating possession. Yes, there is something to that. God, the good one said Milner's just getting better with age. I love James Milner. I absolutely love the lad. And I was very wary of him at first because I just didn't think he would be good enough in midfield. I honestly didn't. And how very, very wrong I was. City Fisher said, not going to lie, Lallana in the 6 worries me, but it kind of excites me too if Klopp genuinely thinks that it's an option. You've nailed it there again, mate. I'm the same, a little bit of both. I trust Klopp, but it does scare the shit out of me a little bit as well. Happily Egg said, playing in the 6 doesn't say anything about the formation. Playing in the 6 in the 4-4-2 is different. Yes, it is, I suppose. It depends, again, as you said, what it is. Are you playing in the 6 in front of a back 4 as kind of a sweeper for the midfield? Or are you playing in the 6 as like a regista kind of role, like a Xabi Alonso quarterback situation, as Connor said earlier on, where you're dominating possession against teams and you're just looking to move the ball quickly? Yes, your point is fair, mate. Craig Adams said, Brewster and Woodburn look like they're starting to fill out a little bit more, which looks good for their development. Woodburn for me, look, I'm going out on a limb and I'm just going to say I don't think he'll make it at Liverpool. His development has stalled through no fault of his own, perhaps through injuries and stuff, but I just watched them again yesterday against Bradford and I still don't know what he does. I just don't, and it's not up to me to know. I don't need to know. Jurgen Klopp needs to know, and but from my humble opinion, I just don't know what the fuck he does. Hendo's a better number 6 than Lallana, said Adam Parks, without a doubt, but we've also seen how revitalised Hendo has been when he's had the reins let off a little bit at him and he's been able to get on the front foot, and he's been setting up some absolutely great opportunities as well. Jace Roberts said, I feel like in the 6 players need to win possession and or intercept, then instigate attack and dictate play. I can't see Lallana being the player who does that. Again, I think you echo, Jace, the worries of many of us, although I do absolutely understand the point Connor made as well, that if you're dominating possession, yeah, it's easier, but it's easier to look good in the 6 if you're dominating possession. I'd still rather have Fabinho playing there though. Blue said Hakim Ben Arfa is available on a free. Oh, pass. I mean, can you imagine the headache in the dressing room? That lad is just, yeah, he seems like a pretty destabilising force. Let's talk about 6, said Vinny. Always happy to talk about 6, mate. 6 European Cups, 6 of those beautiful, shiny, sexy, big-eared bastards. It's getting tough for Lallana with Oxlade-Chamberlain coming back, so got the good one. Yeah, I thought that Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain looked really good, and what we were lacking a lot of last season was directness from midfield. And he picked up the ball and he ran and he took shots and look, didn't score, didn't work out, but he's getting his groove back on, as they say, and he's getting back into the swing of things. And I love Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. I absolutely love the guy. I think he's been a breath of fresh air in and around the football club, and I hope he can stay injury free. Let's get, what else we got? Sorry, let me just scroll back up through the chat. I think Klein still has something to offer, said Ray. Mate, I could not agree with what you said more. I looked at Klein yesterday again, and I just still can't understand what the hell is going on there. I just don't get it. We need backup fullbacks. Nathaniel Klein is there, more than capable. And still, what is he, 29? So he still has, a couple of years left. And for me, it would seem silliness, because if you move him on, I mean, if you've got somebody there coming through from the youth system and you're happy with that, sound. But if you move him on and you have to go and replace him, I don't know. I would rather keep him and then let somebody naturally develop from the underage system. I mean, speaking on the podcast earlier on, I can't remember if it was Cash or Jace. I think it might have been Jace. Spoke about the fact that if, let's say, Trent needs a break or picks up an injury, do we really want to see Gomez getting pushed over to right back again? Because although we can do a job there, he's not as good there as he is at centre back, and it just destabilises again. So Yeah, lots of good points. I mean, I could go on and on and on about the podcast, but you'll get to hear it tomorrow, and I'm probably after giving away a bit of it on you, but I do hope you have a listen to it tomorrow. Adam Park said, imagine Slabhead being the most expensive defender in world football. Even saying it, mate, I'm laughing. What is the fee? Is it 80 million, 85 million? Whatever it is, it's too much. He is a good level, a high level Premier League defender. I mean, I'm not going to say he's not a good centre back. He's a very good centre back, but he's not a world record breaking fee for a centre back. Not a chance, not even nearly. Jace Roberts said, I'd rather see Genie play that role when Fabinho isn't there, even over Hendo. Beautiful thing about Genie, isn't it? That he can play the 6, the 8, the 10. He is a very, very versatile player, and Jurgen Klopp loves that in a player. We see it with Milner, we see it with Hendo, we see it with Genie, as you've said, mate. Now we're going to see it with Lallana, Fabinho, Gomez. I mean, Firmino. You could go on and on and on. And even like the likes of Sadio Mane, he can play to the centre and anywhere on either side as well, possibly even in the 10. 6 times champions, baby, said Eric. I could keep saying it. I feel like I've got a hair or something here. If you're wondering why I keep dabbing my face. Even saying the word dab makes me cringe. It makes me think of Lingard and Pogba. Neil Anthony said, John Barnes moved to a 6 and did a good job on the Roy Evans. It might suit Lallana. Maybe. I guess time will definitely tell. 90 million for Slabhead. Jesus Christ. That's just ridiculous. 90 million for Slabhead. That's just madness. If that is the case, that is just madness. Fabian Delph joins Everton on a 3-year £10 million. Now that's, I was wondering earlier on, thank you for that, Mr. Cleaner. I was wondering, or Clean In, excuse me. Or no, it is Mr. Cleaner. I was wondering earlier on, somebody mentioned about Delph to Everton. 10 million on a 3-year, that's a reasonable fee, actually, to be fair. I don't like to give the bidders any credit whatsoever. But 10 million in this day and age, I mean, yeah, that's a decent deal, to be fair. Leon said, Craig, the fee for Maguire is 60 plus 20 in add-ons. Yeah, that's what I seen, Leon, earlier on. I didn't get to hear Boyle's point of view on this, actually, although I will on Wednesday when I chat to him. Jay said, it was myself, Ori Gomez, on the pod, meant to say I hope Klein stays fit but forgot. Or stays but forgot. I think you probably echo a lot of us, Jace, in Nathaniel Klein and wondering what the hell is going on. Paul Graves said slab. It's slab, not slap. It's slab head, as in SLAB, like a slab of brick. That's what his nickname is. Grabara signed a long-term contract and went on loan to Huddersfield. He is a very, 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 very good goalkeeper in my opinion, Grabara. Yeah, I think there's definitely a future for him in the game. And what I like about him is he backs himself. He said, like, I could be as good as Alisson. Why not? I train with Alisson. I see what Alisson does. I can get to there. I love that. You don't want players to be too cocky, but you got to have belief. Delph's a decent signing for them, said Liam Hunter. Makes Coutinho cheap at 85 million, said Maureen Murta. Yeah, I mean, has there been anything in tonight's breaking journalist news around Philippe Coutinho? Rob Miguel said 60 mil for Maguire is overpriced. What is his actual... What would we value Harry Maguire at? If I was to have a guess at this, it's difficult because you have to judge things by the likes of United paying 50 million for Wan-Bissaka. But Wan-Bissaka has potentially a very long career ahead of him. I'm not saying Maguire's over the hill. Of course he isn't, but Bissaka's only just coming through, so you do have potential there. I think between 50 and 60 maybe for Maguire might be in this market a fair value at my guess, but Jesus, it's difficult, isn't it, in this market to try and figure out a player's value. Wouldn't take Coutinho back because of the terms he left on. I'm sure he'll be in the same form if I'm being honest, said Hansi. Liam said Adam Lallana in the 6 is a no. Yeah, he's good, but he's got good feet moving the ball. Watched him the other day. The amount of times he was backing out of tackles. Yeah, I wonder if he is, as you said, mate, it's pre-season, and I wonder if he is just protecting his body a little bit there as well. O-Dog said, Craig, for my last day of school on Leavers Day when we were signing each other's shirt, I wrote on a Chelsea fan shirt, we won it 6 times. Good man. Well in. I'm proud of you, mate. Well in. Yeah, well in, mate. That's the only fucking thing they'll be signing this window as well, mate, because of their little ban. Remember when we laughed, or remember when we were all laughed at for the VVD transfer fee, said Leon Khan? Yeah, I've seen a few tweets pop up as well on my timeline from people when we signed Van Dijk saying that it was a ridiculous fee. They're not saying it now, are they? Again, just want to give a shout out to Kev's LFC artwork there. The image that's beside me on tonight's show, the one of Henderson lifting the cup, is one of Kev's pieces. So do go over and check out all Kev's accounts. You can see the Instagram and Facebook are there as well. So do check out Kev's account. And you know, I like to try and support LFC artists and stuff as well. We spoke before about Mark Jenkins as well, and we're giving away a Mark Jenkins print. I keep forgetting about this. The winner for that print will be announced on Sunday. So to be able a chance to win that, all you have to do is be subscribed to the channel and go over to Twitter, and on Twitter you'll see that we've a pinned tweet there as well. So for a second chance to enter, make sure you follow our Twitter account and retweet that. I'm trying to find an image here of the print so I can show you guys. Where is it gone? Where is the thing gone? Here it is. Yeah, so it is an A3 size of this beautiful image here. Let me hold it up to the camera. And it is, I know that's not a very good view, sorry. So that is, it's also signed, as you can see, signed in the painting, but it's hand signed in pencil as well, on the bottom by the artist, Mark Jenkins. So if you want to be able a chance to win that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I agree, 60 million for Slabhead, said Mark Hendley. John Fashion said 50 and 20 in add-ons. John Cable reckons 40 to 50 million for him. He isn't world class, unlike VVD. Any news on Degsy, said Nageb? No, actually, there hasn't been. Watching him again yesterday, though, against Bradford, sometimes he just makes unnecessary tackles, and that's one of the things that really frustrates me about Dejan Lovren at times. He can look absolute quality, and then he can do some very rash and silly things. De Gea is set to sign a contract for £375,000 a week, said Vinnie Morgan. Yeah, there's been a lot of players that have had Manchester United by the short and curlies, whose contracts have run down, like Mada, new deal. De Gea, I don't know, I thought it was 350, but let's say it's over 300 grand a week as well. Rashford, 250 grand a week. Martial, 250 grand a week. That chancer Alexis Sanchez is on 450 grand a week as well. I mean, it's just madness, absolute madness. And you can imagine that Mr. Maguire will be on a decent wage as well when he goes there. Rob Miguel said that's an awesome prize. Thank you, mate. We do try to give away stuff. For those who are new to the channel, they probably don't. We try and run as many giveaways as we can. I think in our first 15 months we've given away over 10 shirts, scarves, images. God, what else have we given away? Other bits and pieces as well. Retro shirts from Score Drawn 3 Retro. Yeah, we've given away a lot of stuff, and we're going to continue to as well, because we appreciate what you guys do, and without you guys the channel wouldn't be where it is. Just came to do a recap. There isn't really much to recap, Gaming Guy. We spoke about Coutinho. We spoke about the fact that it looks like Simon Mignolet is going to remain at the club this year. We brought in Andy Lonergan, but only to help out with the pre-season tour of America with regards to providing a training partner for Mignolet. Nabil Fekir, looks like it's a straight shootout between Real Betis and Sevilla for his signature. Klopp said Adam Lallana is going to be playing in the 6 at times this season, so there is that. I don't know what else to say on Lallana in the 6. It's still strange to me. Did I see that you're getting a new chair, said Dean Dixon. Yes, I am indeed. A wonderful company called Serendipity Furniture are building me a wonderful wingback, beautiful leather red and white chair with the Liverpool logo and my name on it. They actually sent me an image of the patchwork the other day for the chair that was done. Where is she gone? Let me just get that up for you. Yes, Paul and Beth and Serendipity Furniture have been so good to us, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing this beautiful chair. Where is it gone? My WhatsApp messages, there's just so damn many of them. Where is it? Yeah, so as you can see there, That's the leather patch that will be on the chair, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful thing. So please do check out Serendipity Furniture as well. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I can't speak highly enough of them. They're making chairs for a lot of people. I think they've got one for Jesse Lingard. I think they've made one for a Wasps rugby player as well. And there is a discount. There is £100 discount for anyone that wants to buy a chair from them, just for mentioning Anfield Agenda. So again, lots of love to the guys at Serendipity Furniture. I think Ramsey will do well at Juventus, said Rob Miguel. Yeah, they've done quite decent, haven't they, with free transfers, Juventus. Obviously Emre Can. They've brought in Ramsey as well there. Didn't they bring... Who else did they bring in? They brought in somebody else a while back on a free transfer. Who was it? German midfielder. What's his name? Oh, Jesus. How good. Sami Khedira, yes. They brought him in, didn't they, on a free a couple of years back as well. Lee said, Lallana used to start the press. His defensive game is very good. I don't know. And Rabiot as well. Yes, good shout. Good shout. Liam Gamer guy in Fran and... Is it YYTR as well? Yeah, Rabiot as well on a free. Yeah, they do love a free transfer, don't they? Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. But I mean, Ramsey, I actually always liked Ramsey as a footballer. I always thought he was a very, very good footballer. Delic on to Juventus, breaking news on Sky Sports, said Liam. It was only a matter of time until that one was agreed. Yeah, they were just arguing over a few little bits and pieces. Spartans 0, Liverpool under 23s 1, said Douglas James Horn. Jack Byrne, the 85th minute. Thank you very much for that, mate, and for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. I still find it weird. The whole super chat thing is still really weird to me, even though we've had it on the channel now for since October. I think I always find it weird. It still freaks the shit out of me when I see one popping up. What's this? Paul Greaves said Luis Suarez to Juventus. Where did this appear from? Is this something that's breaking, or is it just gossip, mate? Buffon on a free this season. Yeah, well, look, let's be quite frank about that. Buffon shouldn't be. He's not good enough anymore to be playing football at the top level. One of my favourite goalkeepers of all time. Love Gigi Buffon, but what is he now? 41 years of age. It looks like he's just hoping beyond hope that Juventus will win the Champions League and he'll get a medal. He should, bring him back to the club by all means as a coach. I have him around the club. He's a legend, but anybody who's watched them in recent seasons will know that he isn't the Gianluigi Buffon of the past. Wasn't Milner a free transfer? Yes, indeed he was, as was Joel Matip, Rob. Fekir will be wasted at Betis, said Robbie. I think so as well. It's more of a sideways step, isn't it? Even Sevilla, I would probably put Sevilla. Well, they've won the Europa League a few times under Emery, but I mean, maybe a smidgen up above Lyon. Well, yeah, probably a little bit above Lyon to be fair, but even at that, I don't know, maybe just fancies another league. Maybe that could be it. Happily Egg said, I still hope Martin Odegaard comes to us. Yeah, do you remember him? What was he, 15, 16 when he went to Real Madrid? And there was lots and lots and lots and lots of hype around him. And look, it still could work out for the kid, but it does look like maybe another loan move for him. Although I don't know if it's to us or not. I've no idea. Probably not. Buffon didn't retire, by the way. Liverpool Football Club. He absolutely did go back and sign for Juventus. I've heard Villa, Everton and Southampton want Alfredo Morelos, said Douglas James Horn. He seems like a talented enough guy, but my God, he's been booked and sent off an awful lot, hasn't he, up in Scotland? And when Gerrard was asked have there been any genuine interest in Morelos, and he shook his head and said no. That could be just managerial, batting away of questions. But I mean, again, it remains to be seen. Buffon will become a good coach, role model, said Liam Hunter. Absolutely, 100% agree with that. I just think his playing days should be behind him. But look, I'm not going to tell Gianluigi Buffon when to hang up his gloves. The man is a legend and he'll make his own decisions. Brian Morris, he said, Betis are banking on Fekir being classed and selling him for 60 next year. That could be, there could be a lot of truth to that, Brian. And I think any deal for them to sign him would be dependent on them selling that guy's at Lo Celso. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his name. The guy Spurs were linked with. United will soon be broke, the amount of wages that they're paying, said Pranav. Look, United are a club that as much as I dislike them, they are behemoth when it comes to making money. I mean, themselves and Real Madrid, I think, are the two most valuable clubs in the world. And if there's one thing United did well over the years, it was, bring in money, bring in corporate deals, lots and lots of other bits and pieces as well. There was something that I didn't get a chance to read the full article on, but I want to just direct you guys to. It was on the Echo website. There was talk about plans for Liverpool's extending of the Anfield Road end, or to increase the capacity of the stadium, may hinge on a train line coming to Anfield. Now, I know from my very limited understanding, I think there used to be a tram line that went past Anfield, or maybe it was an old train line many, many moons ago. And there is talk that that could be the key to any potential increasing of any road end, or past what's already been agreed, the extra 4,500 or whatever it was. We spoke before, and I said to you guys, anything like that would bring us up past 60k would require more investment in infrastructure, better public transport, yada yada yada, and this would play into that one. So it's a good article, I believe. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but people who have told me it's definitely worth a read. Any news on the 16-year-old from Fulham? He's signing, Mark. He is signing. It's just a matter of when. I wouldn't worry about it. I would consider that one in the bag. He'll only be signing on youth papers until he's 17, because you can't sign until you're 17 or older. I believe you can't sign a professional contract. So he'll be coming in on youth terms. But I believe Harvey Elliott will be one for the first team. Are Man United in debt? No, I don't think so. But they do owe money. So from, again, not being a United fan, I've never paid too much attention to this one. But it does seem like they are paying a lot of money back. So the way I think the Glazers bought the club is what's called a leverage buyout, where they leverage the value of the club against a loan, and they're repaying that loan. So technically, I think they didn't have to put up a fucking penny of their own money. They just leveraged the value of the club against a loan, and I think that those loan repayments are quite steep. I could be wrong on that one now. As I said, I'm not a United fan, but I think that was the case. And also, obviously, them being a publicly traded company, United being on the stock exchange, they've got shareholders to answer to as well, so they always have to look like they're taking over and making money. Craig, is your favourite phrase bits and pieces? Nope. My favourite phrase is probably because I think that's the thing I say a lot on the channel. It used to be do, because I used to be singing the Genie and humming the Genie song all the time when I had nothing to talk about. Oliver Kahn, Craig, how did you rate him? I loved Captain Caveman. I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was an absolutely fantastic goalkeeper. I always underestimated his height though, Cape Town Muslim. I always thought he was shorter than he was, but Oliver Kahn was an amazing keeper for both Bayern Munich and for Germany, and again, another idol of mine growing up. There's an old train line about 200 or 300 yards from Anfield, said Gonads. I hope the expansion goes ahead, said Paul Turner. Well, what we do know is that we've outlined planning permission to increase the Anfield Road end. That outlined planning permission expires in September. So the club will make a decision probably around that time about whether to let that planning permission just expire and then relook at it and put in a new planning permission application. I think that's probably what will happen, if I'm being honest. I think they're going to look at a way to increase it, because they know we need more bums and seats, because it is nigh on impossible these days to get a ticket to Anfield. Morally diminished the sequel, said United still owe 400 million on the leverage buyout. Thank you for that one, pal. What else we got? Put a train line straight through Goodison, said Paul Turner. Nice one. Still be too good for the place, mate. Will, I hope you're alright, mate. I'll talk to you soon. What else we got? Is there any other bits and pieces that I've missed out on, by the way? And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, by the way, ladies and gents. As I always say, if you've enjoyed the stream, and turn notifications on and give us an old thumbs up as well. I don't think there's much more. I think they should make the cop bigger, said Scotty. They actually had to decrease the capacity of the cop, I believe, by a very insignificant amount. I think to make... I don't know if it was to make more disabled bays, or there was some reason, and I can't for the life of me remember, they had to decrease the capacity of the cop, I think, by a little bit. Brian Morris, he said the United owners have only ever paid the interest on the loan, never repaid the loan. That will be passed on to the next owners. They bought the club for free. Yeah, it seems to be one of those situations where if you have enough money, you can say, okay, well, this house is worth $1 million. I'm going to go borrow $1 million against the house and just pay back the interest only. Hope the value of the house goes up and then sell it on, pay back the loan and hopefully make any money from the difference. That seems to be what their owners have done. And I suppose to an extent what our owners have done, only in a much better way for us, because they haven't put leverage buyout on the club. So they've just come in and bought it, improved it, used its own money to improve the playing squad or whatever, and they will sell it on in the future for a massive profit. But that is of course any owner's privilege, and I would rather have things done the way our owners have come in than the club paying out a shit ton. I think under Hicks and Gillette some of the repayments was the Royal Bank of Scotland and Wachovia or whatever the way you pronounce that bank is. I think that was another bank that they owed money to at the time. Evan Guest said Delph signs for Everton for 10 million. We touched on that a little bit earlier, mate. Decent bit of business from the bidders for 10 million, to be fair. Greetings from Jamaica, said Danian, or is it Danian? I hope I pronounced that one correctly, mate. But hello, mate. Welcome to you. Lots of love. Thank you for joining us. Again, just a recap for everybody. If you are in Florida, myself and Mr. Crosby, I can't believe I'm fucking saying this, myself and Mr. Crosby are heading over to Florida in September from the 13th to the 20th to meet up with hopefully the Orlando Supporters Club, the Tampa Bay Supporters Club, and perhaps another one or two while we're over there. But we're definitely going to be meeting up with as many Reds as we can. So Far Isle, I think Liz Golden's going to come meet us. As I said, those supporters clubs as well. We'll be filming over there. We'll be watching the Newcastle game with one of them, and we'll be watching the Champions League game with one of them. And we've always said we wanted to travel, and we just thought, you know what, we've saved up and we've worked hard for 15 months, so go big or go home. And Mr. Crosby said, Craig, go big. So we went and booked Florida, and my wife amazingly has let me away with it because it's a work trip. So yeah, really looking forward to it. So if you're in Florida and you want to come meet up and say hello to us, please do let us know. And again, any other one in the UK, if you're in Europe, anything like that, and you want us to come over, do a watch along or join you guys for a game, just hit us up. Or if we can travel, if we can get the time, we will get over. And that's what it's all about. We said we want to build up a community. Well, we do. We want to do it on here, but we also want to do it by going around traveling and meeting people. So I told you guys the other day that we're teaming up with the Irish Cop this season, which is a brand new supporters club that is different to other supporters clubs in that it won't have one particular home. It's going to travel around Ireland visiting other supporters clubs, and myself and Connor are proud to be members of that, and we're going to be doing some filming as well with them throughout the season. So again, yeah, lots and lots of stuff coming up, and it's very exciting. Sonny Goldie said I'm in Orlando in September. There you go. If you're on a holiday, mate, with the family, that's a different thing, do you know what I mean? But if you want to come watch a game with us, or anybody wants to join us, we're going to hopefully head to the one of the Orlando City games against New England. Is it called the New England Revolution? Is that what they're called? Douglas James Warren said I'd like you to come to Edinburgh. I'm not going to lie, mate. The odds of me going to Scotland are probably pretty slim. Ireland is fucking cold enough, mate, without going to Scotland, where it's probably got to be even colder. Doolin said, Craig, Skyscraper City has an excellent forum with all the most current news about the stadium. Thank you very much, mate. I will check that out. I really do appreciate it. Craig, don't go to the Mickey Mouse Club, Man United. Yeah, I won't be going near Disney either. Actually, we won't be going near any of the theme parks when we're over in Florida, because that's not what this trip is about. It's about meeting supporters clubs and filming bits and pieces. Any room in the suitcase for a Scouser, said Liam. Can I come to Denmark? Yeah. If you are part of a supporters club in Denmark, Nigeb, and yeah, let us know. I mean, it's not going to be expensive for us to hop on a Ryanair flight over there and say hello. We'd love to do it. Come to Kildare, said it's Fran. Oh well, there's no excuse for us not to do that, Fran. Do you know what I mean? It's only an hour and a bit's drive up the road. Big following in Cork, definitely be a laugh. I'd love to go down to Cork, actually, mate. To be honest, I'd love to go back down. Brian Morris, he's a Waterford man, so not too far from him, and Connor is kind of halfway between where I live and Waterford as well. So yeah, Cork is 100% something that we will most likely do this season as well. I haven't been to Cork in a while. Do they still dislike Dubs a lot, mate? Because I remember when I was down there many moons ago, they weren't very fond of Dubliners. Craig, will I have to get up at 1 o'clock to watch the Dortmund game? Well, I don't know. That's up to you, Mossy, but I'll be doing a watch along of it anyway on the channel. It is a 1 a.m. kickoff on Friday into Saturday. So yeah, we'll be covering the Sevilla game on Sunday into Monday as well. Well, no, it's Sunday at 11 p.m. and then I'm heading off on my holidays literally a couple of hours later. Can't wait. Cape Town Muslim said, just remember, Craig and Connor, what happens in Florida stays in Florida. Work. Connor probably thinks this will be more fun than it will be. I am a pain in the ass when it comes to stuff like this. I'll be like wanting content made on the plane on the way over. That's how bad I am. Is Coutinho 2-year loan deal rumours true? The honest answer, Mohammed, is I'm not sure, mate. I've seen the one you're talking about with an 88 million buying clause at the end of it. Genuinely, mate, I don't know. I guess we're going to have to wait and see. Come to Peru, said Claire. Of all the places, mate, I think that's probably one where I could hand on heart say it will be unlikely that I'll get to Peru. Not because of anything against Peru. Yeah, it's just never been somewhere I've thought of to go to. Who do I think will win the AFCON? Senegal. But, Algeria were decent. Riyad Mahrez, free kick. What a way to win a semi-final, by the way. Well done to him. 4th minute of additional time. Steps up, bang, puts it in. Job done. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I am so glad to have been back tonight. I was so worried earlier on when we had a little bit of drama at the start of the stream. By drama, I mean technical issues. But we did go reset, come back on, and I'm so happy that I came back on and was here to chat with you guys. It's always a pleasure. It is genuinely one of the most exciting, fun, fulfilling things I do in my life outside of family. So again, lots of love to each and every one of you, and thank you so much for your love and support over the past few days and for your support of the channel since day one. I'm going to end as I always do by firstly saying don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. Listen to the podcast tomorrow. I hope you enjoy it. We won't be live tomorrow, but we will have a bite-sized agenda show. Podcast will be coming out though tomorrow with Jason Cash, so keep an eye out for that one. I'll be back with the late night agenda on Wednesday, then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll be going straight through until I go away. As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for everything. Take care of your families. Tell your loved ones that you love them. And up the motherfucking 6 times European Cup winning Reds. Good luck and good love to you all. Good love. Love to you all even. Yeah. A fuck up to finish. That sums it up really, doesn't it? Good night, ladies and gentlemen.